Every year, there are a list of teams that honestly could shock a lot of people and make some noise in the NFL in the playoff race or whatever. Honestly, there was, I think a team like that was the Raiders last year. Started out on a 3-game winning streak, took a little bit of a dive after obviously the whole Gruden situation. We understand all that, but also another team, obviously the Los Angeles Chargers. That entire division, I'm so excited. Like, we're in, what is this? June, is this? Yeah, it's June 13th. Lord help me. There's a lot still going on in the offseason. There's still a lot to be figured out. Teams are still going to look at that personnel, all that, cliche cookie cutter milk toast comment. But at the end of the day, there are still some sleeper teams. And I think two of these teams kind of reside in the same division. And maybe a little bit of a spoiler alert there. But today we're talking about the top three. Our top three AFC sleeper teams, and I'm really excited to cover this today because I think there's a lot of teams that definitely deserve this distinction. So, I think, there was a couple different things for criteria in terms of what we wanted to look at. Obviously, again, teams that had quarterbacks in place that, their defense improved or has already been good. And it's one of those things where, hey, one look, it's like the Bengals, the story of the Cincinnati Bengals this last year. They got Joe Burrow back, who honestly had a heck of a season. His defense played out of its mind. Definitely a sleeper team. Now we talk about our three top sleeper teams this year. It starts with the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the thing about the Colts is they've been good for, their defense has been good for a while. They thought, guys like Phillip Rivers were going to be the answer and all that stuff, Carson Wentz as well. But now they've got Matt Ryan. And I think the biggest distinction between Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz is, Matt Ryan, brought his team to a Super Bowl. I know Carson Wentz was basically going to be at that point anyway, but at the same time, Matt Ryan has experience. I think he's going to do a tremendous job in leading this offense. The defense already is good in Indianapolis, just top to bottom. I'm really excited about what that will bring overall. But, as it stands right now, the Colts, also having, weapons like, Jonathan Taylor out there, I think he's going to be amazing. I think he's going to continue to be that bell cow kind of workhorse running back that, Matt Ryan doesn't need to lead the offense, and that's perfectly fine. I think, he's at this point in his career where, he realizes that it's going to be a couple come in and throw a couple of big-time throws in a game, and I think he still has the talent to do that. And speaking of talent, he's got the talent around him. We already mentioned a guy like Jonathan Taylor. Also, Nyheim Hines is kind of an underrated running back. They also have Phillip Lindsay as well. Michael Pittman Jr., I have been waiting for Michael Pittman Jr. Just come out of his shell a little bit. He's got so much potential. But at the same time, I think Matt Ryan could help unlock that. Alec Pierce, I think I'm really excited about. I believe the receiver coming out of Cincinnati. Paris Campbell, another wide receiver to look out for. So, top to bottom, there's a lot of talent here. Also, Mo Alley Cox is one of the most underrated tight ends in this entire league. Deserves a lot of credit. And I like this entire offensive line as well. But the defense is great. You talk about Kwity Paye, DeForest Buckner on that D-line, Unique Ngakoue, Grover Stewart. Yes, and more yes. Linebackers, Darius Leonard, one of the most impactful defensive players in terms of that linebacker position, hands down. They brought in Stephon Gilmore as well during the offseason. They got Kenny Moore there at that other corner spot as well. They got Nick Cross in the draft. Just top to bottom, I'm so excited about the Colts' future, and I think they've got a lot of things going for them, and that's why I think they are a sleeper team, number one to a degree. AFC team number two, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, the Raiders are a team that, when we look at specifically how good this team can be, when you talk about offensively, bringing in guys like Devontae Adams, trading for, first and a second, which actually, when you look about it, it wasn't that much. It was a good haul, but it wasn't that much. I believe, the Vikings got more for, a guy like Stephon Diggs than the Raiders got, or the Raiders had to give up for a guy like Devontae Adams, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So, or at least it was pretty similar. So, we're talking about a deal here where, you get a quality talent that did already have a rapport with a guy like Derek Carr. After the Henry Ruggs situation, prayers for everyone involved there was kind of that question, okay, who's going to be that number one guy that can come in and make plays? It's Devontae Adams. Hunter Renfrow just signed his contract extension as well. You've got, a lot of key pieces that are signed through the next couple of seasons. Darren Waller, could he be next? Maybe. But even that defense, I think that was kind of a big problem. Obviously, you're in the AFC West. You've got Patrick Mahomes. You've got Justin Herbert. Now you've got Russell Wilson. Can that defense take a step in terms of its depth chart? And I absolutely think it can. There's a lot of different pieces to this defense that I don't think a lot of people are considering, and I get it. I think, there is some corners that if you take a look at, guys like Darius Phillips, Rocky Austin, I'm really excited about that. But My thing is, as long as their defense can just make a couple of stops, it doesn't need to be a top 15 unit. It needs to be a top 20 unit. If it's a top 15 unit, I think the Raiders are in a Super Bowl. That's how good this offense is. I mean, we've been talking about it at nauseum. Again, all those different weapons and offensive line that I think is good enough. It's good enough, to get it done. And whoever starts at center, whether it's Andre James, Dylan Parham, or whoever, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. The Raiders are a team that is definitely a sleeper team that could make some noise later on as we get forward and move forward into the NFL season. AFC team number 3, huge sleepers, the Los Angeles Chargers. You talk about a team that really improved on defensively. I mean, I love what the Chargers did defensively. I felt like, what was it, Sebastian Day coming over from the Rams. He might be the most underrated signing out of the entire free agency. Also, you got J.C. Jackson. You traded for Khalil Mack to be running mates with a guy like Joey Bosa. So, there's just so many different things going on in this defense of Sebastian Joseph Day. I'm sorry, whatever. At the end of the day, no pun intended, there is so much talent on this defense, and that was really it. Like, if the Chargers could get a little bit of help defensively and that offensive line, you were encouraged. Right tackle, I like Storm Norton, but there's also a lot of other talent on this team that can definitely start at that right tackle position. So if it doesn't start to go well, put somebody else in. But at the end of the day, there is a lot going on for this defense. That was the main concern for me. Were they going to be able to stop the run? And now I think they will, with guys like Austin Johnson and Sebastian Joseph Day, SJD. Ish. But overall, you're really excited about bringing in Khalil Mack as well. J.C. Jackson, Asante Samuel Jr., Derwin James Jr., Nasir Adderley. This entire secondary is going to be nasty, and it's going to be big time because, you do have all those good quarterbacks in that one division, and I'm so excited for it. And I think those are definitely, those are definitely all key pieces to this this Chargers defense that will do some great things. But that's it. Those are our top 3 AFC sleeper teams. Let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. In the description down below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. Give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about our top 3 AFC sleeper teams.